Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your 2020 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I absolutely love you for it. If you were with me through 2019, 2018, 2017, and for those of you hardcore ride or dies from the beginning, you guys know who you are. I'm truly grateful for all of your support, whether you're new or old. It really brings a glow to my heart to know that so many people support me and what I do. It means the absolute world to me. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you would like to get a personal FLP, future life progression, or past life regression session, you can do so on the website address below. As always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So here we are, 2020, the big year, right? The big year of change, shift, and dynamic movement, right? Now, it's not just a new year. This is a new decade, so make it a good one, right? Your first card out is the Chariot card. So your first card out, you get one Destiny card, one Direction card, and your One Direction. You guys know me, I'm a dork. So your first card out sets the tone. It permeates the whole year. It's the energy that you're going to be working with that might be going on in the background, behind the scenes. This is going to be a very fast year for you. This is going to be a year that kind of seems to almost zip by. Why do I say that? The Chariot card is a very fast card. It's hard, fast. Thank you. Bam, bam, bam. Next event, next thing. Let's go. It's got a lot of dynamic energy, which is great because it's an energy that you guys enjoy. It's one that you can work with very well. Now, as a card for January, it represents victory, it represents success, but it always represents the process of winning whatever it is that you put your efforts to. It represents the process of you seeing the results or the rewards in actuality for whatever it is that you've started. If this year, I will say to you, if you want to study something, if you want to get that promotion, anything that requires you to go head to head with other people or to go toe to toe with somebody in order to get the result that you want, this suggests that you win, right? In some way, shape or form, this is a winning year for you, which is absolutely brilliant. So let's give it some context, right? Let's flesh it out and see what your Direction card is. You've got the Six of Wands. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic year for you. You start the year really strong, right? You start the year actually understanding the energy that we're in a lot more than most. And very often it's the understanding that breeds or rather creates the ground that we in in order to succeed. The Six of Wands, this is about everyday wins, right? This is a card of victory and success, but the smaller victories and success. And then you've got the Chariot card setting the tone for the whole year. January, straight out the gate, is going to be a fantastic month for you because you will already understand the energy. So when a lot of people are going crazy because of the lunar eclipse or the big conjunction that's happening on the 12th/13th of the month, you will be in good stead for that, right? And this really does suggest for me that January will be about the small wins. You will have continual and consistent moments to be grateful for, to practice gratitude, but more importantly, you will be aware of how good things are for you throughout the month of January, which is brilliant, right? What a way to start the year. It does suggest as well, like I said, you're focusing on one day at a time. You're doing this whole thing. And the thing is, if you're only ever focusing on one day at a time, everything goes quickly because a day, is a short space of time. February, you have the Tower, right? So big realizations. The other thing as well, when I see the Tower for you here in February, it does look like this will be And it does feel for me like it is going to be something that does shock you. It might shock you into kind of moving, you know, if you could move any faster, you'd be going at the speed of light. It may shock you into maybe changing your daily habits, maybe changing your daily routine in some way, so that you can maximize the time that you have to spend on any given thing at any given time. To give it some context, it comes with the Four of Wands, right? This is about very spontaneous, big news that really excites you. The Four of Wands is always about celebrations. It's about reasons to celebrate. It's about reasons to be happy. For a select few of you, this is about a surprise engagement. If you're in a relationship, this could literally be your partner going, yeah, you know, today was good at work. Bam, will you marry me? And you're like, okay, you know, where the hell did that come from? 1 minute we were talking about how, you know, how my boss is a moron, and how we're getting married, right? This could be a very shocking piece of big news, but because it comes with the Four of Wands, this is great. It's something that is going to make you completely ecstatic, but because it comes with the Tower, it will come completely left of field, and it will be very shocking. There is a big reason for you to celebrate, a big spontaneous celebration or good news that comes to you in February that just puts you on cloud nine. I mean, look at this. You start the year off, you know, with that winning sort of mindset and everyday practicality. February is a continuation of that, but it sees you kind of just having a real big celebrative moment in February. There's going to be some really amazing news that comes your way. For a select few of you, if you've been trying to conceive, this looks like the month for that as well. March, you have Temperance. This is your card. The Temperance card actually represents the sign of Sagittarius. And, you know, it is the process of spiritual alchemy, but it also represents the distillation of ideas, you know. And what is the distillation of ideas? It means when you condense something down to its full, you know, to its purest form. And this is, March could really see you sort of sorting the wheat from the chaff, looking at your own belief structure. It could see you really paying attention to what you believe, and more importantly, why you believe those things. March could really also see you saying to yourself, you know what, things are great, and how do I improve that? But more importantly, how do I assimilate these things into my life now? It's all well and good we have this amazing thing show up in February. In March, you're actually having to make room, make space for it to be in your life, to be a part of your life, which is fantastic. All right, because it looks like whatever it is that shows up in February is here to stay. All right. Let's give it some context or some background, and it is the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so you're balancing the books in March. You could be speaking to an accountant. You could be setting a new budget. You might find that your, you know, the resources that you have, or the budget that you have access to, is grown, is substantially bigger than it ever has been before. If you're looking to sell a home or buy a home, your best month so far is looking like either March. Yeah, I would say March. I mean, the other 2 months are great, but as February is a bit more of an unpredictable sort of, you know, so March looks like a really good time to look at your budget. Looks like a really good time to put the house on the market, or to start looking for a house if you want to buy one. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, earth sign female, she would be a Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo. And because she comes through the guise of the Temperance card, this is somebody that is very spiritual but very earthy. Somebody that is really down to earth, that will give you very good advice. So you could be speaking to an accountant. You could be speaking to somebody that has a lot of knowledge in a specific field. You could be finding a mentor. For some of you, this could be you aligning with somebody that you want to work with, or somebody that you want to learn from, and you're finding this person here in March. On a personal level, it is you looking at balancing the books, paying attention to the finances, looking at where you can get more for your money, so to speak. All right, brilliant. Exciting times, exciting times. Let's have a look at your April. You've got the Empress card. I mean, this is beautiful, right? Because it's about enjoying the things that you've already created. Your first quarter of the year looks brilliant. You go into the second quarter of the year feeling strong and really having the ground, right? Having that fertile ground around you to say, right, okay, you know what? You will be feeling a bit of a Midas touch in April. I kind of feel like you're going to be kind of sitting like, yeah, you know what? Everything I'm doing just seems to be working. That's that Chariot card and that Six of Wands there at the beginning of the year, permeating everything underlying. The Empress card could see you going on a holiday, just enjoying life more. It could be a very fruitful time for you, a very abundant time. Could be a very sensual time for you as well. So yeah, you know, April looks lovely. Let's give it some context and some background. All right, and this one you get the Ace of Wands. Very sensual month, very sensual, sexual, lots of pleasure, lots of enjoyment, possibly even some overindulgence. This is a great time for you to start anything like a new diet. It's a brilliant time for you to start a new exercise regime. Fantastic time for you to look at how you're looking after your physical health. Brilliant time to look at maybe beautifying the home in some way, shape or form. For some of you, this might be you moving into the new home, right? Something about your environment. The Empress shifts and changes, and it comes through the Ace of Wands, a new beginning. This could be where a lot of you have an inspiration on how to make more money. April could see you having a brilliant idea that could be a real money spinner for you. So keep that in mind as well. And for a select few of you, this is you deciding, you know, what field you want to go into next, what book you want to write, what blog you want to start, or something of that nature. Okay, so May, you got the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful card, right? This is luck, success and abundance. But it usually, the thing is with the Wheel of Fortune, it is luck and it is those amazing synchronicities that just seem to come out of the blue or out of nowhere. But they tend to be, it tends to be where you've sown an effort already. So although it comes spontaneously, it's kind of like the synchronicity or the opportunity to have the best of something shows up, and it's usually in response to work that you've already done before. Beautiful, right? It kind of says that you've got the green light or the go ahead for something. Let's find out what. All right, so beautiful, right? You've got the standing stone in this deck, but it's actually the Justice card. It's number 11. So what this actually represents for me, this is about any paperwork, any documents that you've got to sign, anything of a legal nature that you might have been working with, that you might have started here in March. Anything of that nature is wrapping up, but not, you know, it's coming to fruition is probably a better way to put it. And it looks like whatever you have going on in the legal field, you know, contracts, all of that sort of stuff, it looks absolutely fantastic for you. And the reason I say that is because the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. Jupiter represents the law, legal things. It also represents protection, right? And then here with the standing stone, this is about the karmic, the universal laws, but also practical everyday law. So whatever you've been working on, dealing with of a legal nature, May looks like a fantastic month for you to really maximize and complete something in a satisfactory manner. You know, and if for a select few of you, if it is some sort of a court case or whatever, it suggests that you absolutely come out on top. June, you got the Star card. I mean, wow. All right, so right here as we go in towards the summer solstice, you've got the Star card. This is about hope, it's about optimism, it's about joy. June could bring you a glimpse into your future. It could see you really looking at things and saying to yourself, wow, you know what, I wonder how far I can take this. This could be in relation to the contract that you've signed. It could see you really looking at something and saying, you know what, I can see that this has a broader perspective, that actually, yes, you know, what I've done is this, what I've created is this, but it has the potential to be so much more. June is a great time for those of you that are interested, maybe to look at starting some form of studies in astrology. It could be a great time for you to really start looking at your social circle as well, and the people that are in it. And then, yeah, it's all right. So look at that. You've got the devil, right, or nature, number 15 here. This is kind of like your first heavy experience. You could see here which groups of people you're probably no longer going to continue friendships with. This could be a month where you're looking at your social circle and saying, actually, you know what, this person or these people aren't really vibrating at the level that I want to be at anymore. And the thing is, sometimes that happens. It doesn't mean that you have to cut people off. It just means that you really need to pay attention to the sort of energy that somebody's giving you, because at one point that energy might have resonated really well for you, but we change, we grow, we evolve, and that is the nature of life. That's how it should be. That is the nature of nature. And if someone's energy and their outlook and what they're focused on no longer resonates with you because you've moved on to a different level, it's not that you're above them, it just means that your vibrations are no longer aligned, and sometimes that means going your separate ways. The other thing is as well, to call it very literally, June looks like a month where you probably want to go through a social media cleanse. June is a really good month for you to do that. Just put the phone down, put the Facebook account on, I think it's deactivate or whatever, sign out of all of your Instagrams, everything. Just have a month where you do social media as minimal as possible, because you could be noticing, actually, you know what, this is getting a bit addictive. And also, June is a month for you to be present in the now. Don't project too much into the future. All right, so let's have a look at July. All right, you got the Strength card. So digging deep inside yourself, asking yourself what it is that you actually want now. Where is it that you go from here? The Strength card always sees you looking or delving into yourself for the courage to do what needs to be done. The Strength card represents Leo, so in some way, shape or form, it talks about you being on stage. It talks about you having the guts to be yourself, having the guts to walk your own path, having the strength and the courage to be who you are. And to also look at where it is that you might have been holding yourself back. Where is it that you might have been dampening yourself down for somebody else, for what they feel or what they're going through. July could be a challenging month for you, right? But it could just as easily be a lot of fun. All right, let's give it some context and find out. All right, yeah, King of Wands, in your heart of hearts, this is about you wanting to be seen more, wanting to be more out there. You want people to see what you can do. You want people to know what you can do. Lots of people will know who you are. Lots of people will know your name. Your name will be traveling in circles that you might not have even, figured that it could. The King of Wands, a fire sign male. Because it falls with the Strength card, this is a Leo. A Leo male is going to show up for you in some way, shape or form. For those of you that are single, it looks like a Leo is going to be the person that shows up. And Leo and Sagittarius get on anyway, right? Because they're best buddies in many ways. They're both fire signs and they've both got this zest for life. So if you're single, somebody shows up for you here in July and they will absolutely rock your world. But they will challenge you. They will challenge you to look at who you are. They will challenge you to really delve into what into how you actually present yourself and how you are. Now, this person shows up for you in many ways as well, right? And it looks like they are defending you, but on a personal level, this is about you being seen. It's because the King of Wands, he's fun, vibrant, feisty, says what he means what he says. But the thing about him, he's not afraid for people to see him doing what he does. If you're a dancer or a singer, right, just to give you an example, when somebody says to you, oh, what do you do? They say, oh, I'm a dancer. A lot of people will say, oh, show us something then. If some people will say, well, if you're a real dancer, you could just do it anyway and it wouldn't make any difference. This kind of is that. You might find that July brings you that kind of a challenge. You might find that somebody there's a test. It's almost like someone saying, oh, okay, so you do this, show me. And you've got to be comfortable with that, because in some way, shape or form, July is going to see you on stage. If you're in those sort of circles, even if you're not in those sort of circles, you could be asked to give a speech at work. You could be asked to talk about something that you're really passionate about. And with these cards, it sees you absolutely nailing it. August, you've got the Devil card. The Devil card has come up a lot for August. And I've used, if you watch all of the videos, you'll see I've used different decks for all of them. So very, very interesting. The Devil card has come up a lot for August. So in some way, shape or form, it looks like we're all going to be feeling this energy of, one, two, three, four. Yeah, okay, it makes sense, because I think around August, well, July, August, Saturn goes back into Capricorn, because it moves into Aquarius in March, but it will retrograde back into Capricorn. So I wonder if it's something to do with that. But for you personally, on a personal note, this is about you looking at what you are too rigidly tied to. You got the Devil card twice now, right? So you've got the Devil in this deck, but you've got Nature in another, which is number 15, so it's the Devil. And this kind of says to me that you will be looking at what it is that you are too heavily tied to, or what it is that you've kind of let run away with itself. Let's give it some context. And this is about worry. It's about anxiety. If you suffer from social anxiety, if you have, anything of that nature, whether it's anxiety, whether it's panic attacks, all of that sort of stuff, August could see you really addressing that. You might be looking back and saying, well, I did this thing in July and it went really, really well. Why is this plaguing me now? My biggest advice to you for August, is get out of your head. The Nine of Swords can sometimes see us really hyping something up in our minds to a lot worse than the situation actually is. August will see you looking at what it is that you're tied to and what it is that feels restrictive for you by nature. You might be saying to yourself, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. How do I detangle myself from it? And because you've got the Nine of Swords, you could be seeing it as bigger than it actually is. You could be August could be a month where you're making mountains out of a molehill, right? You've got amazing cards pretty much throughout the year so far. Don't let one month derail you completely, right? September, you got the Sun card. Bam! All right, look at that. So with the sweets comes the sours, as the saying goes. I love this, right? And interestingly enough, September seems to be a great month for a lot of people as well. And I've used different decks for all of the, I've mixed and matched them. So I'm really intrigued to see what happens in 2020. But you get the Sun card. This is blessings, it's abundance, it's joy, happiness. September is a month of travel for you. Big travel month, absolutely. Other travel month this year is probably going to be January. January and September look like really good months for you to travel. September looks absolutely lovely with that Sun card. Let's have a look. Let's give it some context to see what comes up. And you get the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, wow. I mean, this is a big money month for you, right? This is a big financial month for you, Sagittarius. It does suggest that you will be feeling the abundance of life, not just financially, but you will be feeling so much more optimistic and happy within yourself. I mean, if that were even possible, especially after the summer, right? Because like I said, it looks like June and August might bring you some challenges. July is actually really good. It's great. For those of you that are partnered as well, because I know you're probably thinking I've forgotten you. For those of you that are partnered, it really does suggest to me that you're showing up for each other. It's like you're rededicating to your relationship and saying, right, you know what? I feel like we might not have been spending enough time together. I feel like we might not have been dedicating enough time to each other. So let's readdress that now. But September is a brilliant month for money. This is where your home is just feeling absolutely like your sanctuary. The finances could be brilliant. This could be where, you know, the family get together could be absolutely brilliant, and it could be you that's hosting it. You know, you're surrounded by loved ones, but also having this really opulent experience of life. It's a really good time for you to enter a contest. I know that sounds really weird, but I keep seeing that you, it's almost like with the winning energy that's coming through, it's like you're winning a holiday. So if there's anything of that nature in September, absolutely enter, because you stand a better chance than anybody else. You have the Magician card for October, right? Beautiful energy, because this is about you stepping into your power, but it could also see you elevating some sort of status jump, some sort of big recognition for who you are. The Magician card is about somebody that's at the height of their game, whatever that might be, right? Whatever your profession is, it always sees you reaching the top. For some of you, this could be about promotion. For others of you, it could be you realizing where it is that you want to be. For a select few of you, this is about you understanding now what your message for the world is, what it is that you want to share with the world, what it is that you sorry, I got my bloody itchy nose. It always starts in the Sagittarius, it always starts in the Scorpio video. Whenever I start Scorpio videos, my nose starts to itch. Very interesting. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, your Magician card could really see you understanding what your message for the world is, what it is that you want to say. Could see you feeling very powerful, almost like on top of the world. And then to give it context, this is about your work for a lot. I mean, you've got that 8 of Pentacles. This is about your work. It's about your profession. It's about what you do. This is a promotion. It is you reaching a peak or a pinnacle of your career. It's you stepping into some form of a shoe or some sort of a role or a position that makes you go, yeah, you know what, I've made it. This is what I was hoping for. This is how far, you know, I wanted to take it. This looks absolutely brilliant for you. October's a really great month when it comes to work. It sees you getting and gaining that kind of recognition that you hope for. November, you've got the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, new events, new magic, new life, new abundance. The thing with the Fool card is pure potential. It can be whatever you want it to be. It's the kind of material that can be turned into anything. It has that energy about it. And then finally, well, not finally, but your direction, let's give it some context, is the 9 of Cups. I mean, this is a big wish fulfilled. For those of you that are looking to conceive, your biggest months for this kind of energy are probably February and November. November could see a surprise pregnancy if you're not in that situation, or it's not your, you know, maybe you're past that time of life, or maybe you just don't want children. This could very much talk about, you know, something surprising, but it's really good news. It's a wish fulfilled. The 9 of Cups represents healing, and it represents emotional contentment, but it's always where something that you wanted, something that you hoped for, you know, where your heart kind of says, I want this to happen. This could be a spontaneous blessing that just shows up, and it could be something that you've wanted for a long time, and it could come with ease. It's like it shows up for you and you're kind of like, wow, you know, I didn't even have to do anything for it, right? You know, it just kind of shows up here for you. And then finally, and happy birthday for those of you that are celebrating at the end of November. Happy birthday for those of you that are December born Sagittarians. And I will say this to you as well. Whatever you want your year ahead to have in it, so you're, you know, from this month and 2021 beyond, fill the day of your solar return with everything that you want your year to have in it. So go see friends, go see, you know, a film, go and have dinner, you know, do something fun, do something exploratory, read, learn, grow, you know, everything that you want the year to have in it, fill that day with a little bit of all of that. December, you have the Justice card, right? So this is where you're making a big decision. December, as your solar return hits, as the sun comes back into Sagittarius, you could be making a big decision. This could see you setting off on a specific path, and it could also see you signing a very big contract. I mean, this is brilliant. In some way, shape or form, I actually feel like your life is going to change. The last quarter of the year, you finish very, very strong. Then you've got the Five of Cups. So for some of you, this could be about an inheritance. For some of you, this could be about something that comes to you by way of somebody bequeathing something to you. Because you've got the Five of Cups, which is like a loss, or, you know, I'll say this to you. For a lot of you, it looks like you're winning something by default. And the thing about Sagittarius, because you know, you guys represent what is right, what is the right thing to do, what is the, you know, the law and the philosophy, and you have this winning energy, and it looks like because somebody else loses, you win here in December. And for a big part of what I know for Sagittarius energy, usually like they're like, well, if I didn't win it fair and square, it doesn't really feel like a win for me. You are winning it fair and square. You are just winning by default, unfortunately. That's got nothing to do with you. It's not like you went out of your way to undercut somebody. It just means that you come through because somebody else has kind of taken a bit of a fall. I know that sounds really odd. Actually, that's a really good example. In the theatre, let's say, somebody, especially those of you that are in performance, actually, if you're an understudy to the lead part, that person could fall ill. That person could, touch wood, take a trip or whatever, and have an accident or a fall, or they twisted their ankle or whatever, and so therefore may be unable to perform. And straight away, what that does is you win by default. You get put into the lead part. So it's that kind of energy. It doesn't mean that you've made that happen to them. It just means that you've won by default. Just because you haven't got it through your hard effort and graft doesn't necessarily mean that you don't deserve it. I'm trying to get it across, but I'm sure it's probably getting slightly lost in translation. It's got probably a lot to do with the fact that I'm filming this after a Mercury retrograde. So your key to the year is the Strength card. You get a double hit of the Strength card, you get a double hit of the Devil card. Excuse me. Yeah, Strength and the Devil, and also you get a double hit of the Justice card, which is fantastic. So, right, the Strength card basically says this year you've got to go for it. You've got to put your heart and soul into everything that you do. You have to have the courage to show up. All of the cards here, I mean, you've got a fantastic year ahead of you. I think it was only Libra that had a better year than this. Everybody else has got probably a lot more challenges. I think it's you and Libra so far that are the forerunners. And this Strength card basically says you've got to have the guts to go for it. Even this here in December, where you're winning by default, you have to have the courage to go after it. So it's like, if that is the case, I'll use that performance example again because it's a good one. Are you then going to turn around and say, oh, well, no, I couldn't possibly take the lead part because I didn't win it fair and squarely? Well, you did, because you were the understudy, and the problem is the person that was drafted in to do the original job is no longer able, so you are being put forward for it. You have to have the courage to go for that. It's like, if your dream showed up for you, would you say, oh, no, because I didn't get it in this way, I'm not going to take it? That's, come on, like, be smart, be sensible, and ultimately have the courage to do what needs to be done. Looks like a fantastic year for you. Right, it's double hit of 11 energy. There's blessings there abound because you've got 2 Justice cards. I think you got the 9 of Cups as well, didn't you, twice? No, you didn't. Then you've got the 2 Strength cards, which is 8, all about material success, power, abundance, accumulation of wealth, but also smart practical business moves. And then finally, you got a double hit of the Devil card, which is the number 15, 1 and 5, gives you 6. This is about taking responsibility for everything that is put in your path. If you're going to spend the year winning, make sure that all of those wins are utilized properly, and ultimately you make the best of them. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic year. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Some people check in month by month. Some people check in every 3 months or every 4 months. Some people check at the end of the year. Let me know what you love. Let me know what resonated. If it doesn't, take it with a pinch of salt. I wish you all the best. Take care. I'll see you soon.